name is Sarah. I live in a very old house and it's full of very old things. If you've watched some of my previous content on this channel, you know that I am quite a thrifting enthusiast. Previously, I've talked about that as it pertains to my wardrobe. But that methodology and proclivity also extends to the various pieces of furniture which I have used to furnish my home. And one of you lovely people mentioned in the comments that you really liked the way that my home was furnished and asked if I would speak to any thrifted items that were scattered about the house. And first of all, thank you for the compliment. And second, you're clairvoyant because this video idea was already in the hopper. Today, I'm gonna give you a little house tour of my 150-year-old, how old is this house? I'm gonna give you a little tour of my 100-year-old home and talk to you about the various thrifted items with which I have filled it, and perhaps pepper in some tips for how you might furnish your home with previously owned items. I think it's gonna be a really, really fun time. Fred will likely emerge at some point. I don't know where he is. He's doing very, very important kitten business. I think that's the intro. My Christmas tree is still up, but it's the new year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Let's look at some old furniture. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're starting in this corner, which you'll be familiar with if you watched the very first video that I posted on this channel, wherein I transformed this chair. This chair was also thrifted. I purchased it on Facebook Marketplace, but I'm not here to talk about the chair. You already know all about the chair. You're experts on the chair. I'm going to talk to you about my media console. So this was purchased at a Habitat for Humanity restore location. I will link them down below. They're a really, really great resource and they have locations all over the country. They are a wonderful organization and you can find some beautiful, beautiful things for very, very, very little money. This amazing piece is like, I don't really know so much about like how to identify stuff, but it's a really solid piece of wooden furniture. My guess would be that it's probably from the 60s? Somewhere between the 60s and the 80s that I'm gonna bet where this came from. It's a beautiful, solid, built to last piece of furniture. I bought it for $20, so it was a honey of a deal. And like a lot of thrifted furniture, it did show some signs of life, which I am largely fine with. I actually really kind of like when my pieces are imperfect. It gives them a little bit of character, gives you a sense of the history of the item. Sentence. This had enough scratches on it and is sort of the first thing you see when you come into the house, that I wanted to give it just a little bit of TLC. So I got a wood stain marker. I found mine at my local hardware store, but you can find them on Amazon. They're really, really great tools. And I just filled in all the little scratchies and you can barely tell, and it's beautiful. It's a piece that people really compliment. I love the little cutout detail here. Fred often likes to sleep under there. I really like the bigness of it. I like that there is space for the odd book, the piece of childhood nostalgia, Christmas decoration, Santa at his workshop. Isn't this the sweetest little thing? I love it so much. This was in my childhood home. It's broken. He at one point he was working on something. There was another toy that he was working on here, but it's broken off throughout the years, but that's okay. Like all of us, life's beat him around a little bit. But yeah, super solid piece. I'm sure I'll have it forever. And $20. This was $20. Let's look at some more stuff. Welcome to my porch. We haven't been out here. I've had to don a sweater because it's Minnesota. I knit this, by the way. I haven't mentioned that in previous videos, but I do knit. Many of the things that you see me in are things that I've knit with my paws. This sofa, I am so proud to own. This was a free couch. I got this couch for free on Facebook Marketplace. They were the nicest people. They were getting a new sofa and they didn't want the hassle of having to pay somebody to come pick up their old sofa, of selling it and having it take forever. And they knew that if they listed it as free, they could get it gone quickly, which honestly, I would recommend to anybody who's looking for a sofa. Look for people who are trying to get rid of a couch for free. It won't happen 100% of the time, but if you are so lucky as I was, you'll come across a couple free sofas in your day. And it's so much comfier than the couch that I bought new that's in my living room, like by a lot. I can't say doesn't keep me up at night that I shelled out like quite a bit of money for a new sofa, and the one that was literally free that somebody like just about gave away as garbage is the better of the two. It really is transformed the porch and allows this to be truly like a second living room when it's nice outside. It's not nice outside right now, so I'm gonna go back in because you can see my breath. It's a thrifted sofa. It's the best. It's the best. Hello from the floor. Honestly, this is one of my favorite corners of the house. But we're down here on the floor because I want to show you maybe my favorite old thing that's in the house. So this, do you not love it? So this is a lovely antique sewing basket, I suppose. I bet there's an actual word for it. If you know it, tell me. But I found this at a little local antique shop walking distance from my house in my neighborhood. But this I got to house my knitting accoutrement. As I mentioned, I'm a knitter. I don't put all of my knitting tools in here, but I do use it to house like my needles and then the yarn that I'm using for whatever project I'm currently working on. Right now I'm using, also, this is also thrifted. Oh my goodness, everything's thrifted. I thrifted this yarn, this beautiful Rowan yarn, and I'm using this to knit the sweater that I'm currently working on. It's like a very convenient thing to have like a beautiful vessel that I don't mind having out to house the tools that I need to be able to have them at my fingertips. But I also really love that there's like a sense of age and history. I mean, this is probably about as old as the house is. For something especially that's like such a passed down through the generations activity like knitting, it's really wonderful and like very meaningful to me to, when I turn to that activity, know that I'm engaging with something that is also old and has some history. Think of all the sweet mothers and grandmothers in their sitting rooms pittering away at their needlepoint, pulling thread and needles out of this lovely vessel. I would also love it if I could have it out, but as you may know, I live with a cat, and if I don't really truss it up like this and put it away, I would have no yarn. There would be no yarn left. Where is he? Look who it is! Fred is also technically a thrift. I think he's the best secondhand thing I ever found. Where do you need to go? Why don't you lead us? Oh God, your hair is everywhere. Lead us to the next place, Fred. Let's follow him. I'm spending so much of this video crouching. I haven't stood up straight once yet. This little corner of the living room, the bar cart, really makes it look like drinking is more a part of my life than it is. I kind of rarely use it, but it is so nice to have. This entire situation, except for the whiskey, this entire situation was thrifted. The bar cart itself, I found on Facebook Marketplace. I don't think it is vintage. I think it's new, made to look old, but I got it for about 10 bucks. So I'll take it. All of the glassware is thrifted as well. This set is a thing that like makes me ache. I think it's so beautiful. Is this not the most beautiful smoked glass cocktail pitcher you've ever seen in your life? I mean, doesn't it just hurt? These glasses feel amazing. And these I found, these beautiful little amber glasses, I found at an amazing place in St. Paul. It's called the Mall of St. Paul. If I can find any information about how to get there, I'll link it. If you're local to the area, it's the best place. I got these. I got all four of them. All four of these suckers. I got them for 8 bucks. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This entire bar cart, honestly, is a pretty great example of how you can affordably add a ton of visual interest to your space by thrifting. I mean, I think in totality, let's think about this. This whole situation, every beautiful thing you see before you, it's 38 bucks. I kind of can't beat that. If I didn't drink at all, I think I would want this in my space. Just be a complete poser. No, that's not true. I'm really far too compulsively authentic for that. All right, moving on. This is also thrifted. I found this at a little print shop in New York. It's an old New Yorker cover. There are a lot of New Yorker covers around this house. I love the New Yorker. Let's keep going. We finally made it to standing, and the lighting is terrible. I'm so sorry. Welcome to my office/guest room space. If you come over, this is where you'll stay. So this is the only room in the house comprised of entirely thrifted items, and I'm obsessed with it. So going quickly, rapid style, piece by piece. This desk, it's probably the single most expensive piece of thrifted furniture in the house. I think I spent like $170 on it at a consignment shop. I'm in love with it. I've always wanted a desk that had this kind of detailing on it, and it just feels like luxurious and lovely. This chair I purchased on Facebook Marketplace. That lamp was free from the street. All of the various pieces of art in the room, all of the frames were thrifted. Much of the art was as well. The chair that I'm pointing at right now, that was a Goodwill find that I got for 10 bucks. This futon was also thrifted. I purchased it on Facebook Marketplace. Knew this like gorgeous mission style, super solidly built futon probably would have cost about $500. I got it for $70. I find that so satisfying. And it's so comfortable. It's so comfortable and it's so beautiful. If I do some fast math, $270, less than $300, I furnished this entire room, and it's probably my favorite room in the house. So if you need any inspiration or motivation to thrift furniture, let this room in and of itself be enough of a push for you, because I mean, I think if you're decorating on a budget, and it also does like have a very specific energetic difference from the rest of the house. I think the fact that it's full of pieces that have previous life, that have a bit of a history to them, there is something like intangible in here. And I think it's just being surrounded by other people's stories. Being energetically affected by the pieces of furniture and their history in my home isn't really why I thrift, but I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. Inspiration from wherever it comes. I think that's wonderful. All right, this is taking like a while, and time has passed, night has fallen, and I don't think anyone wants me to stay up all night again, so we're gonna rapid fire the rest of these. Let's go.
Thrifted. 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 As previously mentioned, thrifted. All right, friends, that is the full tour of every thrifted item in my house. This has been a really fun evening. I haven't really taken the time ever to sort of sit down and do a visual inventory of every thrifted thing that has come into my life. But when I look at it all at once, it really has become quite a meaningful little collection. I love very, very much that I've filled my home with pieces that mean so much to me, and that I've tapped into the wealth of wonderful pieces that already exist out in the world that are just waiting to be found. I love the hunt, I love the slow curation, and I love that everywhere my eye rests in my house, it lands on a piece with history that means something to me. If you are a fellow lover of secondhand things, let me know down in the comments what some of your favorite finds have been, if you have any tips for sourcing furniture. I love hearing from all of you. You all have such great insights, such great personal anecdotes. It feels really, really special to see this community forming, and to know that by doing this work, I get to connect with so many different kinds of people. It's really, really special to me. If you want to keep hanging out with me and Fred and keep checking in on what we're up to, go ahead and subscribe, like this video. It really does mean so much to me. In the meantime, I hope you're having a really beautiful start to 2025, and I will see you very, very soon. Okay. Bye. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.
Nope. It's a weird job that I've decided I have. Oh God, you fools who watch this. I can't finish the sentence.